I'm Leah Leatherby, Big Leah, and I'm a high school friend. And I'm just going to read. I first met Julie when I was 13, and she was assigned to show me around the Baldwin School for Girls. I was a townie from Center City, Philadelphia, and was donning what I thought was my hippest, most fashionable get-up. Bell-bottoms with about 50 pockets up and down the legs, wedgies on my feet, and those sweater shirts that are one piece, attached, you know, in the 70s. Those were big. Imagine my horror when I entered the Baldwin gates and saw the sea of straight-leg corduroys, Fire-Isle sweaters and docksiders. I was a complete misfit. I met Julie in this shame-based state where all you want to do is run and hide, and in about 5 seconds flat, she put me totally at ease and had me laughing and feeling right at home. I chose Baldwin over all the other schools I looked at because of Julie. This was the first of many unwitting Leah rescues that Julie performed, without ever really noticing that she was doing it. From my freshman year through graduation, Julie just seemed to sweep me up and carry me along, seamlessly helping me make friends and acculturating me to this totally foreign environment. Julie specialized in crossing over. She could talk to anyone and served as the glue between countless disparate groups and people at that time and right up until her death. She was so utterly and outrageously herself at a time when most of us were carefully crafting our public personas, trying hard to contain and disguise the parts of us that we imagined were unacceptable. Julie is so much of the reason that I can look back at my adolescence and say I had a happy childhood. Unhappy at home, I practically moved into Julie's house my sophomore year and never left. I probably spent 4 nights a week in that third-floor room. And although there are many specific times with Joolz that I can remember, what stands out for me most are the regular moments. Smoking Merritts and Marlboro Lights behind the hut at school. Dancing to Saturday Night Fever at Racey's house. Laughing until our stomachs ached. The thousands of hours logged driving around the main line in her Rabbit, singing at the top of our lungs to the songs we loved and the songs we loved to mock. The many lunches she treated me to at Wendy's when I had no money to go on my own, but she didn't want me to be left out. The 2 a.m. contemplations of how zippers work, or if rocks are really alive because their metabolisms are just too slow for us to detect, because they are millions of years old and we are only decades. Dancing to Rosalita the summer we lived together after graduation in Cape May, New Jersey, as peppermint schnapps was poured into our open mouths by club staff. Sharing a one-bedroom with no less than 10 people crashed in its every nook and cranny on any given night. Julie the census worker, Julie the actress, Julie the comedian, Julie the best friend. When I think of Julie, I think big. Big energy, big heart, big generosity, big bravado, big fun, big talent. Does everyone here know what a fantastic actor she was? Big humor, and yes, big boundary busting. No one could quite out you the way Julie could. Big courage. Not just these last 9 months, but always. I believe that the hardest thing most of us face is being present and having the strength to be ourselves. And in this, Julie was fearless. To be as funny and alive as Julie was, you just have to be present. She let it all hang out when most of us reined it in. She wasn't afraid to be messy when so many of us sculpt and chisel. In this, she modeled something often elusive, but truly precious. In the last weeks of Julie's life, when it became clear that she was letting go, I tried to thank her, to express the enormity of my gratitude for everything she gave to me. She seemed bewildered by it, delighted, but bewildered. It didn't seem like she really got what she had done for me or how convinced I was that she saved my adolescence from the toilet. She had taken such exquisite care of me without ever even knowing it. Our lives in those days were lived in constant song, and I have found comfort in these last few months as I have grappled with her condition and what she has meant to me, and rediscovering and listening to the music that infiltrated and punctuated our lives. Somehow it helped me not to numb out in the face of her impending death, but to remember and to feel. I had been naturally hunting on iTunes for songs that reminded me of our shared times, and just before she died, I thought, I'll make a playlist for Leah and Charlie, as it is the only tangible piece of early Julie I can give them. The other day I realized, however, that there were 186 songs on it, and that iTunes doesn't let you reproduce these easily. This led to a meltdown, which clearly indicated plenty of yet unprocessed feelings about Julie's passing. My husband tried to soothe me by saying, "Leah, no one wants to hear 186 songs. That's too much. Cut it down to 20 and put them on a CD." I felt devastated by this, as each song had specific significance to me. But I took his point. How many times can you listen to 800 minutes of songs? So I did my best to pare it down, but was only able to get it down to 118. Sorry guys, it's the long computer stick. Since Julie's death, I have actually listened to all 186 songs several times. It has served as a container for my memories, grief, and gratitude. When I think about the last 9 months since Julie got the terrible diagnosis, I am again struck by the gifts she has bestowed. She shared every step of this grueling process, from the physical to the emotional and the spiritual. In the midst of her pain and anguish, she contemplated the meaning of her life and her suffering, and we had many discussions that I will always treasure about the transition, what it would be like, how she should prepare for it, and what it would be like on the other side. She died as she lived, out loud. As I reflect on this, I realize that Julie taught me much about life, and then she taught me about death. Joolz, I love you, and I will keep you here. Thank you for everything.